She thought she found the perfect man until one cab ride opened her eyes. Sometimes it's not heartbreak that breaks you, it's realization. And Emily's story will make you question what love truly is. The moment Daniel knelt down in the middle of crowded restaurant and opened a small velvet box, Emily felt a rush of joy. She gasped, covering her mouth in surprise. The chatter around them faded, replaced by a warm buzz of excitement. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked at the man she loved for the past 3 years. Emily Carter. Will you marry me? Daniel asked, his confident smile unwavering. Yes, yes, of course, she exclaimed, flinging her arms around him as the restaurant cheered. Her heart soared. She was finally getting the fairy tale ending she had always dreamed of. After the night of celebration, Emily and Daniel left the restaurant in her car. She was still floating on the cloud nine, reliving the magical moment. But just a few blocks from home, the car jerked and rolled to stop. Not tonight, she groaned, turning the key again. But the engine refused to cooperate. Daniel sighed. Emily, you really should have serviced the car on time. This is irresponsible. Her excitement dimmed. I didn't know it would break down tonight, Daniel. You should have been more careful, he said. Frustrated, she pulled out the phone and booked a cab. Few minutes later, a yellow taxi pulled up, and the driver, an Indian man in his 50s with warm eyes and a saltpeper hair, greeted them with a kind smile. You need a ride, miss? Yes, please, she said, climbing in with Daniel. As the cab started moving, Daniel continued. Honestly, Emily, you need to be more responsible. Car maintenance isn't that hard. She clenched her fist, trying to stay calm. It just happened, Daniel. Cars break down. The cab driver stole a glance at her through review mirror, but he remained silent. Emily noticed his glance, but said nothing, lost in her own thoughts. As he dropped them off, he handed her a card. If you ever need a ride, call me. My name is Prakash. Next day, Emily went back to check on her car. The mechanic shook his head. It's gonna take few weeks. We need to order some parts. Sighing, she pulled out Prakash's card and dialed his number. Miss Emily, good morning. He greeted cheerfully. You need a ride? Yes, actually. I was hoping to make it regular thing. Just until my car is fixed. I would happy to help, Prakash said. Days passed, and Emily found herself looking forward to her cab rides. Prakash was an old school romantic. He often spoke about his wife Priya and his two kids. His love for his family was evident in every word he spoke. She takes care of me like no one else, Miss Emily, Prakash said one day. And I take care of her. That is love, giving, not counting. Emily smiled. A mix of longing and uncertainty lingered. What she truly loved like that? Or had she spent her life mistaking effort for love? She had spent her whole life trying to earn love, first from her parents and now from Daniel. She remembered being teenager, staying up late to help her mother with household chores, hoping for a world of appreciation that never came. She recalled working tirelessly on the school project, thinking her father would be proud, only for him to dismiss it with a distracted nod. Every achievement, every effort had been a silent plea for love and recognition. As a result, she had grown fiercely independent, learning to handle everything on her own because she had never felt she could rely on anyone else. That evening, she decided to cook dinner for Daniel as a peace of offering, hoping it would ease the tension between them. As she set the table, the quiet nervousness crept in. Would he even notice the effort she had put in, or would he brush it aside like always? A part of her clung to hope, while another part already knew the answer. When he arrived, he barely noticed. Instead, he talked about his job for over an hour without once asking about her day. The next morning, she had an important presentation at work, one she had been praying for weeks. It was a chance to prove herself, to showcase her skills, and work hard. This presentation meant more than just career achievement. It was a reflection of her dedication and ambition. She mentioned it to Daniel while leaving for the office. That morning, as Emily and Prakash drove past her favorite cafe, she mentioned, I love the coffee from this place. Prakash smiled. Why not grab one? I'll wait. She shook her head. I have an important meeting today. No time. That evening, as Prakash drove her home, he asked, how did your meeting go, Miss Emily? She smiled at his thoughtfulness. It went well. Thank you for asking. At dinner, Daniel didn't even bring it up. The small things started adding up. Prakash remembered tiny details. Her favorite coffee, the way she liked the windows down when they drove, the songs she hummed absent mindedly. One day, he surprised her with coffee from her favorite cafe. You remembered? She asked. Of course, he said with a smile. When you care, you remember. That sentence echoed in her mind all night, filling her with a strange mix of warmth and sadness. It was such a simple truth, yet it highlighted everything she had been missing. Was love supposed to be that effortless? When her car was finally repaired, she felt an unexpected sadness. She bid Prakash farewell, thanking him for everything. He simply smiled and said, love should make you feel safe and valued, Miss Emily. Never forget that. That night, she sat with Daniel. Do you ever notice the little things about me? She asked. Daniel looked up confused. What do you mean? Like, do you pay attention to what I like, what makes me happy? Daniel sighed. Emily, you are overthinking again. Her heart finally had the answer it had been avoiding. She realized she didn't feel valued with Daniel. She had always been the one putting the effort, planning dates, checking in on him, making sure he was comfortable. And in return, she received indifference. It wasn't malice, it was simply that he never thought to reciprocate. For so long, she had mistaken effort for love. She has convinced herself that working hard to keep someone in her life meant they cared. But love, as she had come to understand through Prakash, wasn't something you had to earn. It was freely given, like the way he spoke about his wife or the way he remembered the smallest things about Emily without expecting anything in return. Looking back, she realized she had never known unconditional love, not from her parents, and certainly not from Daniel. She had accepted what little she was given, believing that was all she deserved. But now she saw the truth. The next day, she gave back the ring. As she walked away from Daniel, she felt lighter. She had learned what love should be, and for first time, she chose herself. And somewhere in the city, a kind cab driver smiled. He knew he had helped a lost soul find her way home, not just in distance, but in understanding her own worth. If Emily's story touched your heart, remember, real love starts with you. Don't settle for being someone's effort, be someone's choice. Like, share, and subscribe for more emotional love stories that remind you what real love feels like. Until next time, take your own ride to realization.